This is a demonstration of an application I created called Connector Inspector. It started out as a flange slide rule, an electronic version of a flange slide rule. And here we're seeing the flange selection. And the way this works is simply a drop-down menu. You select the flange that you're looking for. We'll select 4 1/16 10K. You can see it presents all the bolt information you would need, shows the pressure ring that you need for it, and it shows the critical dimensions that let you identify the flange. Another way to use this is to have a physical measurement and identify the flange. In this case, we'll select one that has a bolt circle of 15.88 inches and a overall diameter of 18.875. We now see that is a 7 1/16 10K flange. The drill pipe inspector works in about the same fashion. Here you can see that you can select a particular drill pipe. We'll select 4.5 IF. You'll see it gives you the length of the pin and the diameter at the base. It also shows what it's interchangeable with, in this case 5-inch XH, 5.5 DSL, or 50 NC. Likewise, you can work it in reverse by selecting the diameter at the base and the length of the pin. We'll select this 4.82 diameter. You see it's a 4.5-inch XH. Lubricator Quick Connect tab is for pressure control equipment. Once again, you can select by a number of different methods. Here we'll select by common name. We'll pick Otis 3.5. You can see that it gives the overall thread diameter, the sealing diameter, and the inner bore diameter. Another way to select is actually through physical measurements. Here we'll select one, it's 11.5. You can see that's the overall thread dimension. That's an 013. Finally, that brings us to the virtual O-ring cone. There's 3 ways to use this application. The first is to obtain dimensions for a given size O-ring. Here we'll select a 400 series O-ring and we'll select a 445, and you can see that the inner diameter is 7.975. It has a thickness of 2.75. The second method of using this is to identify a given O-ring of an unknown series. First, start with the thickness. We'll select 0.210, and we'll select an inner diameter of 1.287. You can see that is a 300 series and a size O-ring 323. The final way to use this application is to identify the O-ring required for a given machine part. This would be assuming that the drawings are not available or the O-ring is unknown. You start by measuring the gland depth. Here we'll select a 0.11. The gland width determines the number of backup rings. We'll select just 0.187, no backup rings. Finally, in the drawing at the top right, any one of these inner or outer or groove diameter will define the O-ring. In this case, we'll select a 1.403. See, that is a series 220 O-ring. That concludes the connector inspector demonstration.